Thank you for continuing to hold. All our agents are busy at the moment. However, your call is held in a queue and will be answered as soon as possible. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Sonia, can I introduce Emma Randall? She's the new secretary for Mike and the creative team.
Hello, Emma. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
How's your first day going?
Very well, thanks. Ben's just showing me around.
Good morning. Flight reservation.
Excuse me, nice to meet you.
Bye.
How can I help you?
Hello, yes.
Sonia's our strategic planner. I'll introduce you to Joanna, our account director, later. She's in a meeting at the moment.
Oh, okay, don't worry. And what's Velvet Selection? I heard Mike talking about it earlier.
Ah, that's one of our big accounts. Those luxury chocolates, you know?
Oh, right.
I'll take you back to see Mike if you like. Do you want to see the coffee machine on the way?
Yeah, sure.
What exactly is happening with the Edinburgh Chocolate Company then?
Well, Milberg Anderson took them over last week. Jamie Fraser's still looking after Velvet Selection, though he's working for Milberg Anderson now.
And where does that leave us? Do we keep the Velvet Selection account?
Well, we're fighting to keep it. Joanna's arranging a dinner with Jamie Fraser and someone from Milberg Anderson for a couple of weeks' time, I think. Come in.
Yes, she is.
Oh, hello. Thanks for showing Emma around, Ben.
You're welcome.
Let me introduce Alex, our art director.
Hello.
Good to meet you, Emma.
Hi, Ben.
Hi. Ben Morrison.
Can I speak to Joanna Castle, please? It's Stephen Archer.
Yes, of course. I'll put you through.
Hello.
Joanna, I've got Stephen Archer from Staveley Park Hotel on the line.
Excellent. Put him through. This morning, the board gave us the go-ahead to pitch for the Woodhouse Hotels account.
Well, that's good news.
It's very good. What do you know about Woodhouse?
They own and run a chain of country house hotels. They're quite expensive, and as far as I know, they don't do TV advertising.
Right. Well, they've got a new chief executive now, Ed Clark. He's American. He joined them 4 months ago. He's making changes and putting their account out to tender. He actually invited us to pitch for it and sent us his marketing brief.
Well, that sounds promising.
At the moment, they cater mainly for weekend and holiday tourists. But now they're planning to target their advertising at business travellers.
So they're probably considering a completely new image. When's the pitch?
May the 9th. We need to see one of the hotels as soon as we can. Ben's arranging for us to visit their flagship hotel, Staveley Park, tomorrow.
Ah,
Is that a problem?
well, it is a bit, actually.
Oh, why?
I'm taking tomorrow and Friday off. I'm going to Paris for a long weekend.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Well, don't worry.
It's okay. I can cancel it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Thanks. I'm sorry.
Stapley Park Hotel.
Hello, my name's Ben Morrison. I'm calling from Blue Stream Advertising. I'd like to confirm the programme for our visit tomorrow.
Woodhouse have got 52 hotels in the UK. However, their traditional market is declining, which is why they want to attract a new type of customer.
Yes. So their target is business travellers and companies needing luxury conference facilities.
Yes. Ed Clark wants a heavyweight advertising campaign with TV. He can talk through the main points with you tomorrow when we see the hotel.
Fine.
Now, I'd better talk to Mike.
And what date is the pitch?
Thursday, the 9th of May at Staveley Park Hotel. There's not much time to prepare for it, I know.
3 weeks tomorrow. OK, but when can you let us have the creative brief?
We'll have it ready for Wednesday, the 1st of May. That's 2 weeks' time.
Fine. And do we know when the dinner with Jamie Fraser is?
Ben confirmed it today. It's the following week, the Monday after the pitch. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
The first actual Sony product was a rice cooker, but sadly it burnt the rice. So that was soon discontinued. The first main Sony product was a tape recorder, and it was the first tape recorder sold in Japan. In those days, as you can imagine, it was a very large machine. It was important for the Japanese to learn English, and the tape recorder was seen as a very useful way of helping schoolchildren learn English.
In 1955, Sony produced the first commercially successful transistor radio.
It was pocket-sized, but unfortunately it was slightly larger than a pocket, so they had special shirts made so that their salespeople could actually show how they put the radio into their shirt pocket to demonstrate that it was the first pocket-sized radio.
We tried to show that radio fit shirt pocket, but we tried to make as small as possible, but I found that radio is a little bit bigger than the standard shirt. So we ordered special shirts which has a little bigger pocket, and we gave this shirt to all the salesmen, and the salesman put our radio in the shirt's pocket and show that the customer, see, this is a pocket of radio.
They recognized that they had to find a name that would be pronounceable anywhere in the world. So they searched all various dictionaries until they came up with the word sonus, which is Latin for sound. And the American forces in Japan often referred to bright youngsters as sunny boys, and they saw themselves as bright youngsters. So using sonus for sound and sunny boy, they dropped one of the N's and came up with Sony.
I think Sony's created a very strong brand by using two particular products. One was the Walkman product about 10 or 15 years ago. Its first really defined global product. The second one, more recently, was the PlayStation product. And I think that's also allowed them to leverage their global capabilities to a different generation.
When he was at home, Akio Morita noticed that his teenage daughter carried her radio with her wherever she went. He also knew that his partner and co-founder of Sony, Masaru Ibuka, liked to take a tape recorder with him on long-haul flights so that he could listen to good quality music.
Akio Morita was convinced that there was a better way of doing this rather than lugging these heavy bits of kit around. So he spoke with his engineers, and they took a dictation machine, removed the recording circuit and replaced it with a stereo circuit. And at the same time, another division of the company was working on much smaller headphones. So they brought the two together and ended up with the first Walkman product.
I think a product like the Walkman or PlayStation is absolutely pivotal to the growth of the company. Without these two products, Sony would be just another electronics manufacturer. They in fact created new markets as well as new products by creating the Walkman, simply markets that didn't exist before, and this allowed them to grow into areas of people's lives that they didn't currently work with.
The Walkman was absolutely vital in establishing the Sony brand. Back in 1979, when the first product was launched, and this is actually an example of that first product, it cost about £118, £120 and had about a 2.5-hour battery life. That was the start of almost constant development over the last 25 years, which has now led to the mini-disc family of products. This one happens to be a net mini-disc where you can download music off the net. But just have a look at the difference in headphones and the different size of the products. 56 hours battery life from that, 2.5 from that. So the development has been quite dramatic over those years. But if you ask how important to the Sony brand, absolutely vital. And we have gone to a lot of trouble in a lot of countries to protect the brand name Walkman. We believe that when people see the Sony brand, they think of quality, they think of miniaturization, they think of innovation, they think of new products, they think of features, and that's what we need people to believe when they go into the store to purchase. And we have to deliver on that. It's quite difficult achieving brand status of that nature. It's very easy to lose it. So we are very conscious of the fact that everything and anything we do has to be of the highest quality.
They have what I call the yin and yang of technology and marketing, and very few companies can do this. Some are very technology driven and others are very marketing driven, but to capture the two in a single package is quite extraordinary. The second thing that Sony do very well is they provide the stepping stones to the future of where technology is going to go, and I think they lead customers down that technological path in a very easy manner.
We have three what we call content companies: Sony Music, Sony Pictures and Sony Computer Entertainment. The importance of those to the overall Sony strategy is now vital. Anybody can make good quality black boxes, and although we continue to develop our products, it gets increasingly competitive and more difficult to stay ahead of the competitors.
I think Sony's move into media and content as well as hardware is a very astute move. It will enable them to really drive forward with format wars and win those. But equally, they'll be able to drive forward and make a lot more money by leveraging that hardware dominance with content and provide customers with exactly the kind of content they like. I think it's very clear that other players like Panasonic have tried that and failed.
When you look at our vision for the future, you can imagine that at the top of a graph you could see the three content companies, and then at the bottom of the graph you'd see the hardware, all the hardware products: televisions, digital still cameras, camcorders, mobile phones, etc. And in the middle will be software linking the two. And when the broadband era truly arrives, then the foresightedness of the purchase of these content companies will really come through.
So it's not an easy thing to do, to be an expert in content and hardware, but if anyone can do it, Sony probably can.
Well, this is pretty impressive.
I wonder how many business clients find their way out here, though.
Not enough at the moment.
Good afternoon.
Hello. We have an appointment with Ed Clark. We're from Blue Stream Advertising.
Oh, yes. Mr. Clark is expecting you. I'll let him know you're here.
Thank you.
Oh, hello, Mr. Clark. Your visitors are here. Fine. He's coming to meet you. Please, take a seat for a moment.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Hi, Joanna, Sonia?
Hello, I'm Joanna Castle. Pleased to meet you.
Hi, Joanna. Ed Clark.
And I'm Sonia Green.
Hi, Sonia. Good to meet you. How was your journey?
Fine, thanks.
Great. Now, Joanna, I understand you need to look around the hotel and get some video footage.
That's right.
Please feel free to go wherever you want and ask Maria if you need anything.
Thanks very much.
Will an hour be long enough?
That'll be fine.
Great. Okay, Sonia, we'll talk in my office.
See you later.
This is the front of Staveley Park Hotel, which, as you can see, is really quite impressive.
Can I just go over your basic strategy again, Ed? Your traditional market, which is weekend and holiday tourists, is getting smaller, is that right?
That's correct. There's an overall decline in the UK holiday market, but it's not all bad news. At least when people do take quality holidays, they're still choosing Woodhouse over other hotels.
And that brand name, of course, is one of your greatest strengths. But you want to increase your occupancy by attracting business clients during the week, plus conferences.
Yes, we don't have a history of much business custom, but we feel it has a lot of potential for us.
Okay, so let's start with your market research on this.
This is a typical bedroom. There's lots of space and it's beautifully furnished. I wonder where you plug your modem in. Fabulous views.
You see, my first thought when I read your brief was that some Woodhouse hotels have a lot to offer business clients, but others don't.
Go on.
As you know, the #1 requirement for business clients is an accessible location, and only some of your hotels are in the right place. Your proposed strategy at the moment is to market all your hotels to business customers. Would you be prepared to change that if necessary?
Well, yes, we're ready to consider any new ideas.
That's good to know. I'd like to do some specific research on your potential business market. I feel we need to find out exactly what business clients want, and also how they see Woodhouse hotels. I think that having some research groups in the hotels is a very good idea too, if we can arrange it.
Yes, I'm sure we can do that.
This is the only room they offer for business meetings and conferences. Not much in the way of presentation facilities. Thanks very much, Ed.
Not at all.
And thanks for the meeting. It was very useful.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. So how was it?
Very interesting, actually.
Come on, let's go for a drink. I think you deserve one.
It's early morning near the town of Thame in Oxfordshire. Commuters are waiting on the station platform for the train that will take them on their 50-minute journey to London, 40 miles away. Every day, approximately 500,000 people commute to London from the surrounding area, known as the Home Counties. A large proportion travel by rail. In 1997, the British government privatised the rail network and put the operation of passenger services into the hands of 25 separate companies. Mostly, the element of competition failed to deliver a better service. A national passenger survey in 2002 showed just over 60% of passengers were satisfied with the punctuality and reliability of the trains, and only 43% of passengers were happy with the value for money of their journey. Mile for mile, rail travel in Britain is the most expensive in Europe. Much of the dissatisfaction with rail travel is felt by passengers on the busy commuter routes into London. However, not all rail operators in this region fail to please their customers. Chiltern Railways is one of Britain's most efficient and successful railway companies. They provide a service along 2 lines that run through the Chiltern Hills, connecting towns such as Aylesbury, Amersham, High Wycombe and Beaconsfield to London's Marylebone Station. "60% of passengers on the Chiltern lines are either commuting to work or travelling on business. The company succeeds where many of their competitors fail through the simple formula of providing their customers with a safe, reliable service on clean, comfortable trains that aren't overcrowded.
Our company mission statement is to operate the best passenger railway service in the UK, and that all day, every day, we'll aim to offer a safe, welcoming and reliable service. I think there are a number of things that attract passengers to Chiltern Railways. We have very high satisfaction levels and we aim to run a very reliable and safe railway. And by running a reliable and safe railway, customers will use us and they will use us repeatedly.
Marylebone Station is used exclusively by Chiltern Railways trains. We have about 120 trains that leave here every day for destinations to Aylesbury and our second biggest city in England, Birmingham. The busiest times of the day here at Marylebone Station are in the morning peak when people are arriving to work, and that's roughly between 7:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And then again in the evening when they're on their way home, and some people start a little bit earlier. But most people arrive here about 5:30, and between 5:30 and 6:30 is very, very busy. In fact, just around 6 o'clock, we shift over 2,000 people in about 5 trains.
Chiltern Railways aim to provide all their passengers with comfortable travel.
The type of train we use is actually called a clubman train. It has tables throughout and is designed for business passengers in mind. It has air conditioning and a lot of space for people to feel comfortable. We believe that if we listen to our passengers and understand what they want, then we will be a successful business. For example, if there are problems or delays, we try to make sure that our passengers know about those delays and they have the correct information at the right time. And by doing that, we overcome many of the problems that we're faced with. Over the last 4 years, we've grown on average by about 15% every year. But we don't only take our growth into consideration, we're also very proud of the fact that our customers tell us that they're happy with the service we provide. We know that 9 out of 10 of our passengers are satisfied with our service, and that to me means that we're a successful business.
I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough. Monday's too late. I know it's coming from Scotland, but will you be able to deliver it today? Okay, fine, I'll wait to hear from you. Goodbye.
Hi, Ben. Who was that?
Oh, a so-called 24-hour delivery company. I'm having problems with a package from the Edinburgh Chocolate Company for Joanna. We expected it here today, and now they say they can't deliver it.
Oh, dear. These are from Mike, by the way.
Great, thanks. Just put them here. Anyway, how are you settling in?
Fine, thanks. Mike and Alex seem very easy to get on with. But they're quite stressed at the moment, aren't they?
That's because we're really busy. Things will calm down after the pitch, and then we'll all get back to normal.
Good.
You come in from Brighton every day, don't you?
Yes, but I'm going to move into London as soon as I can.
How long does the journey take?
About an hour.
So, do you think the marketing strategy Woodhouse proposed is going to work?
No, not entirely. The research, especially from my focus groups, is very interesting.
Is that good interesting or bad interesting?
Good and bad. There are two clear messages coming out. Firstly, Woodhouse is a very strong brand.
That's good.
But the other message is that nobody associates Woodhouse hotels with business travel.
And that's bad.
Yes. People go to Woodhouse hotels to relax and get away from work, not to do business.
Do we know why that is?
Well, the main reason is location. Most Woodhouse hotels aren't conveniently located for business centres.
That sounds like a real problem.
Well, actually, I don't think it needs to be.
Really?
Ben Morrison? Oh, thank you for calling back. So, is the package coming today? Tomorrow, but it's Saturday tomorrow. I'm sorry, but this is extremely inconvenient. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to tell our clients not to use you again. Goodbye.
"15 of the hotels are ideally placed for business customers. They're all near airports or business centres.
So, what are you suggesting? That we only focus on those 15?
I think that's the only option. The main advertising issue is that business people don't even consider those 15 hotels, although they're well located. I'm going to suggest that we create a sub-brand of Woodhouse hotels aimed directly at the business sector. We'll call it Woodhouse Premier, or something like that, and focus on those 15 hotels. We'll suggest that Ed Clark puts most of his refurbishment budget into them.
That sounds good. It'll give us a new brand to work with as well.
Plus, we'll be able to build on the Woodhouse reputation for quality.
Do you think Ed Clark will accept this? It's very different from his original plans for the campaign.
Well, he said he was open to suggestions. And I think this is the only strategy that makes real business sense.
Okay. Right, I'll need to have a look at the figures again and see if this adds up.
Here. Milk, no sugar.
Thanks, Ben.
A few of us are going to see a film tonight. Would you like to come?
Oh, thanks. That's kind of you. I'd love to, but I'm meeting someone after work.
Okay. Another time, maybe.
I'm just going to print out the figures and then I'll let you have a copy.
Thanks. We're meeting Mike next Wednesday afternoon to hand over the brief. We'll be ready by then, won't we?
No problem. I'll be able to let you have the draft on Monday. See you later.
Mike Wilkinson.
Hi, Mike. I just wanted to confirm our briefing meeting. Is Wednesday at 2 still okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
We're going to suggest creating a Woodhouse sub-brand of premium business hotels.
Okay. Alex and I will probably start throwing around a few ideas before Wednesday. Just one thing, though. I won't be able to think about the Velvet Selection account until after this pitch. That dinner isn't going to move, is it?
No, it's definitely after the pitch. It's the only time that's convenient for Cameron Black.
Sorry, but who's he again?
He's the Milberg Anderson marketing director, the one we're going to impress.
Ah, right.
Okay, go. Yeah. Go. Thank you. Okay. Go. Ha! Oh, no.
Mine's much better than yours.
You cannot be serious.
Sorry, mate.
Oh.
Come on, next one.
Now that's definitely mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alton Towers in Staffordshire is Britain's best known and most successful leisure theme park. Since 1980, the park has attracted up to 3 million visitors a year. They come to enjoy thrilling rides such as Air, Oblivion, and Nemesis. The park has 320 permanent employees, and up to 1,500 temporary staff are recruited to work during the season when it is open to the public, which lasts from April to October.
Seasonal assistants will work in a variety of roles. They will be ride operators, ride assistants, shop assistants, front of house assistants, show hosts, security assistants.
My job at Alton Towers is a unit operator. I'm in charge of the day-to-day running of a games unit, from the banking financial side of it down to the staff management, displays, etc.
OK, then what you need to do is throw your bean bags at these tins here. If you knock them all off the table, then you win one of these dogs up here, or you win one of these bears here.
I heard about my job originally from the college I was at. It was just originally a job to do through my A-levels in university, but I've ended up working here full-time at the moment.
Completely off that table, yeah? Ready?
Can I choose anyone off?
You can have any table you like, yeah? OK. See if you can hit them this time.
The worst thing about my job probably is the long hours, starting at 9 and finishing about 8:30 some nights, doing it 5 or 6 nights a week.
Overall, when we're recruiting seasonal team positions, we're looking for people who, they might not strike you immediately as outgoing, but they're comfortable with other people. So we're looking for people who are happy to mix, and also to be friendly, to be approachable, and who see that, you know, a service position is actually a highly skilled job and not something to be avoided, because it isn't something you can just do and you know, you need to put energy and effort into making sure someone's having a really good experience. We have what we call our Delivering Magic induction training package that we ask all new team members to go through. And that's a couple of days where we look at the nuts and bolts of what it means to be employed, but we also focus very highly on what the Alton Towers product is, the customer service side, and the interpersonal skills you're going to need to take that forward.
Right, okay, does anybody that doesn't want to get wet, would you like to stand up now?
Nothing puts it into perspective as much as actually doing it, so I would have to say it's a great deal of on-the-job training.
This is my 4th season. I basically just serve people on the tills and help on photographs, to sell the photographs and deal with any inquiries that people may have. The best part of my job is being able to work as a team, and all the team members, they work really well together, and we socialise together as well, and we get on really well. It's not like being at work, really.
I would say the biggest challenges that our staff face on the park are the sheer sort of changes in volume and types of customers. They have to be alert even when it's perhaps a quiet day, and it's quite difficult to maintain your motivation on quiet days, days when it's very rainy, or days when it's so busy that people can hardly move.
I'm a grade 5 supervisor at Alton Towers and the Nemesis photo unit. The job includes producing photos for the customers who ride on Nemesis. I heard about the job through the local job centre. I started when I was 17, 5 years ago, and I've been working here through my studies. Working with 5 or 6 people throughout the season, you do tend to gain a good relationship and a bond between each other, and it helps to produce good products for the customers. I'd have to say the worst thing about my job is probably the long hours. 9 till 7 o'clock at night in the summertime. It's a long day, but we do cope well.
In terms of what it is that keeps people coming back to work for us and encourages new people to want to come and work for us, it's exactly the same thing that's kept me here for 12 seasons. It's an absolutely unbeatable way of earning a living. It has all the demands and challenges that leisure does have, but the rewards are immense. You see the product that you're working with being delivered and you see people experiencing it. For a seasonal employee, the amount of experience you get in a few short months at Alton Towers, I believe, is as good as 2 or 3 years anywhere else. The customer service, the job skills and the experience are unrivaled.
I'd like to leave a message for Joanna Castle. I'm afraid Cameron Black from Milberg Anderson has changed his plans. He wants to move the dinner to tomorrow night. That's Wednesday the 8th. I'm sorry it's such short notice, but if we don't see him tomorrow, there probably won't be another chance. Could you call me back when you get a moment? Thanks. Bye.
Well, that's disastrous. I'll go and call Jamie now. Oh, Ben, can you call Mike? I'll need to see him straight away.
Okay.
So now we've got dinner with Cameron Black tomorrow and the Woodhouse pitch the day after.
Oh, the timing couldn't be worse. We really need to impress Cameron Black or we could lose the Velvet Selection account. I'll need today and tomorrow to prepare for it.
What about the Woodhouse pitch? We need to impress Ed Clark too.
Look, why don't I just finish off the Woodhouse preparation? Well, that would free you up, Mike, to work on Velvet Selection.
I don't think we have any choice.
Hello, I'd like to change a dinner booking, please. Monday, the 13th of May. Joanna Castle. Tomorrow night, please. Still for 8 o'clock. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Mike, let's go.
What do you think, Joanna?
That one.
That's what I said.
Is everything on track here, Alex?
Don't worry, we'll be ready for tomorrow morning.
Mike?
Sure, I'm ready.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Joanna. It's good to see you.
Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Here, have a seat.
Have you been here long?
No, just a few minutes.
How are you?
I'm fine, fine. I'm just getting used to not owning my own company anymore, you know. But Cameron Black's a good man to work for. And don't worry, I've made sure he knows what you've done for Velvet Selection. I've strongly recommended that you keep the account. So just relax and charm him.
That's okay for Joanna. What about me?
Here's Cameron now. Cameron, it's good to see you again.
And you, Jamie.
Let me introduce you. This is Joanna Castle, Blue Stream's account director.
Pleased to meet you, Joanna.
Hello.
And Mike Wilkinson, creative director.
Good to see you, Cameron.
And you, Mike.
The table's ready. Would you like to come through?
Thank you.
Could we have a bottle of Chateauneuf de Pape, please?
Yes, of course.
First of all, let me apologise for changing the dates at the last minute.
It's perfectly okay, really.
I just hope I haven't dragged you away from anything important.
Not at all.
So, tell me about your future plans for Velvet Selection.
Thank you.
Thank you for an extremely enjoyable evening. It was very good to meet you both.
You too, Cameron.
I'll let Jamie know as soon as we've made a decision.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Cheers, Jamie. Bye.
What do you think, Mike?
I don't know, but I haven't felt that nervous since we pitched for the Velvet Selection account 5 years ago.
Well, you were great tonight.
Thanks.
And now, if I were you, I'd go home and get some sleep. We'll need all our energy for the pitch tomorrow.
You're right. How about a quick nightcap?
No.
No.
Home.
Home.
The Wedgwood Company, based in Staffordshire in the north of England, has been producing high-quality pottery for over 240 years. The company was started in 1759 by Josiah Wedgwood, who became an internationally renowned innovator in both the design and the production of pottery. Today, the Wedgwood Company produces a wide range of pottery in China, including many of Josiah's original designs, and has extended its range of products to include other luxury items such as glassware and cutlery. The company continues to maintain its international reputation for high standards of design, craftsmanship and quality.
The Wedgwood name today is famous for its ceramic product, its design, its technology, its innovation, which reflects in many ways the past, because the founder of the firm, Josiah Wedgwood, was always in the forefront of modern technology in the 18th century, and this is something that has endured through to today. Tradition is very important to the Wedgwood Company, and it is interesting that today many of the designs originated in the 18th century are still in production. Similarly, some of the decoration, which was first designed in the past, is still used today, things like the dancing hours. And even some of our most up-to-date bone china designs were in fact developed first in the Victorian period and still have echoes of that wonderful period of great design and innovation. On this particular factory site here in Staffordshire, there are 1,400 people employed. There are about 2,200 people employed within the Wedgwood Group here in Staffordshire. The volume of objects manufactured on this site can vary according to demand, but usually average between 700,000 and 1 million objects a week. The ceramic industry must be one of the few industries in Great Britain where, despite changing technology, many of the traditional skills are still paramount in the industry. Things like hand throwing, turning, hand painting, gilding, and in fact many of the manufacturing processes are still done in the traditional, original ways.
In the past, Wedgwood products were produced entirely by hand. However, in recent years, new technology has been introduced to improve the production process. Robots are now being used to perform some unskilled and repetitive tasks.
Robotics are used in two main areas of the factory. One for moving heavy trays of ware during the course of production, which obviously saves men physically carrying them. And the other aspect of robotics that has been recently introduced is for putting handles on cups. And this, of course, was a fairly tedious job for somebody to put hundreds of handles on hundreds of cups on a daily basis, and that has taken out that element of repetitive work. The company ensures quality by having quality checks at every stage of production. At each point an object is examined and it's either accepted or rejected to go on to the next stage. So it would be examined when it's in its soft clay stage, when it receives its first firing, before it's glazed.
after it's fired, then when it receives each aspect of its decoration through to its final checks as being absolutely perfect and suitable to bear the company name. The Wedgwood ethos is embodied into the company products because, of course, it still relies, although it's pushed out the boundaries of technology, on its heritage and its past. It has a living tradition, and even today the most modern design still echoes the past superb examples of the company's products. And it's interesting that this ongoing tradition of handcrafted, beautifully designed and superbly manufactured goods are still produced in this factory today.
Oh no, where's the laptop connector?
What?
I can't find it.
Don't worry, it must be somewhere.
But it should be in here.
It might be in the boot.
What's this then?
Oh, thank goodness.
Don't worry, Joanna, everything's going to be fine.
And fingers crossed, we've kept the Velvet Selection account.
Don't even mention Velvet Selection. Come on.
Let me introduce my team. This is Stephen Archer, our operations manager, and Ruth Pierce, our financial director.
Ruth.
Would anybody like some coffee before we begin?
No thanks, Ed. I think we're happy to get going straight away.
So we are going to suggest creating a sub-brand of Woodhouse consisting of 15 premium business hotels. I'm going to hand you over to Sonia now, who'll present our recommendations for the new advertising strategy.
Thank you, Joanna. Right. Well, before moving on to our proposals, I think we should take a brief look at occupancy patterns up to now. And while, of course, the Woodhouse Premier Hotels will become your principal business locations, we anticipate a positive effect throughout the whole chain. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, I do, Sonia. Do you really feel that it would be pointless to undertake extensive refurbishment of all our hotels?
Yes. The research clearly shows we must target key hotels for business users to avoid wasting resources across the whole chain.
Obviously, it takes time to refurbish these hotels. Which ones do you think we should start with?
So, the ad starts with two executives on a plane. The man looks a bit worried, but the woman is very calm. She looks great. Gucci, Rolex, Hermes, she's every inch the top businesswoman. At the airport, it's raining. A Woodhouse limo picks up the woman. The man has to queue for a taxi with no umbrella. The man arrives at his hotel. His room is awful, small, dark and very noisy. In contrast, the woman is helped out of the limo at a beautiful country house and shown to her fabulous Woodhouse suite. The man is sitting on his bed eating a cold, rubbery omelette. The woman dives gracefully into the Woodhouse pool. The commercial finishes with Woodhouse Premier, where business is a pleasure. Nobody's called, have they?
No, sorry.
Okay. Well, if there is any news, could you give me a call on my mobile? We're going out to lunch now.
Of course.
Do you want to come to lunch, Sonia?
Yes, I think I will, actually. Good idea.
Do you think Joanna wants to come? Where is she?
I don't know. She hasn't been in her office all morning.
Ben Morrison. Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Oh, Mr. Fraser. Sorry. No, I'm afraid Joanna isn't here at the moment, but Mike's here. Shall I pass you to him?
Hi, Jamie. Fine, thanks. And you? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Oh, that's excellent news. Yes, very good. Thanks so much for calling. Bye. We've kept Velvet Selection. Joanna, we did it.
Did what?
Jamie's just called. We're keeping the account.
Oh, thank goodness. I've been with the board. I got a call from Ed Clark first thing this morning.
What's happened? Well?
It's good we've kept Velvet Selection because we've won the Woodhouse account too.